everyone. So this is the continuation of the report of Mr. Arlie Solina. So I am Miss Angeline Loria, the second reporter for this afternoon. So for this video, we will still be talking about the concepts and inherent values in different learning areas. So we have English, mathematics, science, and Filipino. So the first two subjects was already discussed by Mr. Arlie Solina. So I'm just going to discuss to you the last two subjects, specifically the science and Filipino. But before we proceed, I just want to share this with you. So I'm gonna show you an example of curriculum guide na ginagamit sa DepEd, which is ginamit namin as reference sa paggawa ng report. So the K-12 curriculum, the K-12 basic education curriculum. So, paano babasahin ang curriculum guide? So, this is an example of curriculum guide, specifically grade 10 science third quarter. So, we have here columns, labels, so the content for grade 10. First, we have the coordinated functions of the reproductive, endocrine, and nervous systems. Actually, we have 4 topics here, but since hindi nagkasya, so ayan na lang muna. So for the second column, we have the content standards. So the learners demonstrate an understanding of organisms as having feedback mechanisms which are coordinated by nervous system and endocrine system. So the third column, we have the performance standards, but since walang nakalagay doon, so ayan, blank lang siya. We have the learning competency. So maraming learning competencies sa isang content pa lang or sa isang content standard. So for example of learning competencies under the first content standards, we have the learners should be able to describe the parts of the reproductive system and their function. So the code for this one, S stands for science, 10 is the grade level, LT stands for living things, and the 3 stands for the third quarter. So we have here the learning material. So ayan, science, equipment, human torso model. Now, ito yung ginagamit na curriculum guide before the pandemic time. But now, na-change ito. The Department of Education used another curriculum. So this is what we call the MELCs. So particular siya sa most essential learning competencies. So itong nakikita nyo sa screen, this is an example of Curriculum Guide 2017. So sa 2017 Curriculum Guide, the codes, the learning materials, but walang nakalagay how many weeks mo ituturo yung certain topic. But for the MELCs, naka-identify na ang duration kung how many weeks mo yon ituturo. But nevertheless, wala namang pinagkaiba sa mga topics. May mga nabago lang. So, ayan. So, let's proceed. So, now we will examine the concept and the values inherent in the different learning areas, specifically in Science 10, third quarter. So, first we have the coordinated functions of the reproductive and nervous system. So, inherent values dito is students not only learns about puberty, menstruation, conception, and pregnancy, but they also become more open-mindedness. So, nagiging open-minded sila on the changes that might occur in their bodies. So, the next one is heredity, inheritance, and variation. So, the students identify risk due to shared genes. students develop a sense of responsibility and accountability for their own health and make healthy choices. And it has helped students understand the true meaning of life. Next one, we have the biodiversity and evolution. So knowing about biodiversity and evolution enables students to appreciate the nature and visualize the potential consequences, meaning to say they can imagine what might happen if certain events had occurred. So it has helped the student. So it helps them to practice responsibility and allows a student to realize and reflect on the proper way to monitor their actions in order to avoid destroying the diversity of life. So the next one, we have the ecosystem. Students learn and develop the essence of having a better environment, which would possess efficient decision on how to protect the environment and solve environmental problems for us to survive. So furthermore, it develops a values such as appreciation for nature and being mindful enough toward living a healthy quality life. So let's now jump to another slide. We have the Filipino curriculum guide, grade 8, second quarter. So we will now examine the concept and the values inherent in Filipino subjects. So the different concept taught in Filipino. Una, meron tayong naiuugnay ang mga kaisipan sa akda na nabasa sa mga kaganapan sa sarili, lipunan, at daigdig. So, yung inherent values dito is ang mga mag-aaral or yung mga estudyante ay hindi lamang nakakakuha ng interes, ngunit maaari ring iugnay ang kanilang mga karanasan sa totoong buhay mula sa kanilang mga nabasa. Sunod, na pahalagahan ang kulturang Pilipino na masasalamin sa pinapanood o sa pinanood na sarswela. So, may ipapakita ng mga mag-aaral ang pagpapahalaga at pagsimbolo sa pagka-Pilipino. The next one we have, pagbibigay ng opinyon at katuwiran tungkol sa paksa ng balagtasan. So, dito upang magpahayag ng opinyon at katuwiran tungkol sa paksa ng balagtasan upang malaman kung ang kanilang mga saloobin. So dahil dito, nahuhubog ang kanilang kumpiyansa para makapagsalita para sa kanilang sarili. Nasusuri ang pagkasunod-sunod ng mga pangyayari sa napakinggang maikling kwento. So, ang mga mag-aaral ay natututo at nagkakaroon ng kaalaman sa eksaktong pagkasunod-sunod ng mga kaganapan. Ito ay nagkakaroon din ng pagkamalikhain, organisado at may mahusay na desisyon. At ang panghuli ay pagbibigay interpretasyon sa tulang binasa o napakinggan. So dito naman, binibigyan ang mga estudyante ng pagkakataon na ibigay ang kanilang sariling saloobin sa akdang kanilang nabasa or binasa. At malalaman kung ano ang kanilang pagkakaunawa sa tulang kanilang binasa, kung ito ba ay makakatulong sa paghubog ng kanilang mga personalidad bilang isang tao. A beautiful quote from Malcolm Forbes: "Always remember that the purpose of education is to replace an empty mind with an open one." So that's all for our report. Hope you've learned something, and thank you so much.